the Newnan Coweta Humane Society, events at the Performing Arts Center, our Pet of the Week, and a whole lot more coming up today on the link. Hi, I'm Lana Mobley.
And I'm Mark Whitlock.
Welcome to the link today. We have a great show, Mark, and then I'm glad to be back.
We're glad to have you back. Hope you had a great trip in New York. I heard that you were on the set of Good Morning America.
I was very lucky. Maddie and I got up early that morning, and we actually were on camera as they came outside to talk. And then we were lucky enough to get chosen to go backstage after the live show and be with them while Josh Elliott and Lara Spencer did the internet show. So we got pictures with the anchors and got to see how they do their show. And you know what? It's not a lot different than the way we do ours.
I bet it's not. I bet it's not. And Mr. Britt and his team have told us that. And by the way, we're here in the newly lighted studio.
Exactly. So this is step one of the new studio with the lighting grid. That's awesome. I don't know, Mark. Maybe we need a little makeup help here.
I could certainly use it. And
then it won't be long till we'll have a new set.
We'll have a new set, and this is a lot of fun to see this program grow and develop. It's great for young people here at Central Educational Center, and thanks to Newnan.
Sure. Well, you've got a good segment coming up. Tell us about that.
We've got a great segment. Carrol Duffey with Keep Newnan Beautiful, Cindy Leopard with the Newnan Coweta Humane Society. Walk and Wag, October 5th at the Powell Exposition Center. We're going to talk about how the city and the Humane Society are partnering together, and this will be a fundraiser that will help both.
And I believe Cindy's going to have one of the pets that's going to do some walking and wagging.
I think Cindy is. And we'll be excited to have her and her friend on the set with us.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, and then I'm going to be talking with Don Nixon, the Executive Director for the Center for Performing and Visual Arts. What a pearl of the community that place is, that a lot of people really don't know how it operates and what the value of that is and what events come. So Don's going to fill us in on that, and it's very intriguing. So I think it'll be nice.
You know, Don is such a find for our community with his background, and coming to that center was the perfect fit. It was a way to bring somebody who was experienced in operating centers like that to an incredible new facility that our school system, in partnership with the city, had built. What an opportunity to learn more about some really world-class events that go on at the Center for Performing and Visual Arts.
Right. And next week, we're going to be showing the groundbreaking for the University of West Georgia. That was something that we actually filmed because it did happen this last week. And so that's going to be really nice to see as we follow up on more stories next week. But what a gem for our community for that, too.
Tremendous project, $15 million plus project that will repurpose the former Newnan Hospital and turn it into a much larger campus here in Newnan for the University of West Georgia.
Well, as you can hear, we have a lot coming up today on the link that you don't want to miss, so we will be right back, so stay with us.
Would you throw all this trash into your home? Well, of course not. Newnan is your home too. Throw the trash in the can and keep Newnan beautiful.
The Center for Performing and Visual Arts is a pearl of the community, 48,000 square feet here right off of Lower Fayetteville Road that many of you may not be as familiar with as you should. So we want to make you more familiar with that. And today to talk with us is Don Nixon, the Executive Director for the Performing and Visual Arts Center. Don, thank you for sharing your time with us today.
Appreciate it.
This facility is really unknown to a lot of people in the community. You've been here 10 years. I can't believe it's been that long.
I know. In fact, you were one of the first people we met when we moved to this town.
I know.
Yeah, it's hard to believe. 2003, we moved here from Houston for the purpose of helping to finish the building. And we opened actually in 2004, so we're getting ready to celebrate the 10th anniversary.
That's really neat. Now, the center is actually owned completely by the Coweta County School System.
That's right. And so, Lana, a lot of our programming, of course, the school system takes priority in what we book because we're here to be a house of excellence for the arts. And so, as a result of that, they book first, and then the remaining dates. We have a very active patron board and patrons within our community that supply the financial support that allows us to bring professional acts to our community. And so we book them second, and then what remaining dates are there are made available for rental.
Okay, which is nice because that fills those dates and gives you a little more revenue stream than you might possibly have.
It does, because all of the income goes right back into programming for both community and students. So we do a great deal of variety of programming. So we're here 7 days a week, almost every week between now. We book a year in advance.
Right.
And so as a result of that, we pretty well filled those dates quickly. I think we have 13 days between now and next July that are vacant, and a lot of those are Wednesday nights. And you know why we don't book on Wednesday night? We're in the South, and it's church night.
It's church night, right? So you can't, you're not going to get that 1,000-seat auditorium filled on church night.
Occasionally, we will have an act come through, and particularly if it is student-related, like a master class opportunity for band students, we do make exceptions sometimes and ask students to give up a Wednesday night, but we really try to avoid that.
Now, there is a lot of detail involved in scheduling and actually finding these talented artists and performers and actors to do this. Yeah. Tell me how you do that. What do you do to get all these things here?
Well, it's part of it is connections, but a large portion of it, Lana, happens because we're a member of a national organization called APAP. And that is the presenter of the arts. And so we go to a national convention, and every agency literally in the United States is represented there. And they have representation of all of their acts that you can go to a showcase and experience a sampling. So
just
you
a little snippet.
Yeah, maybe 10 minutes. So that you kind of understand what you're bringing in. I think the key to all of this is the fact that you have to know your community.
Oh, absolutely.
You have to know what they really want to, what they love, and what they want to stretch to love. And so, I mean, you literally in New York, you're there for 5 days, and it is around the clock. It is not unusual to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and go see something that you've seen on the roster.
That you think would fit perfectly in our community. And I think the nice thing with the events that I have been to here, it is such a variety. You do hope to touch as many people as you possibly can.
Exactly.
And all ages.
Well, and we have friends that are presenters, and one of their approaches is they present only one spectrum of the arts, one medium of expression. And we really try not to do that. We try to create a diversity so that we know we're like a dog, we won't scratch every flea, but we'll at least catch you once or twice a year, which is so important. It is very unique for us to be a part of the school system and yet to offer such live art experiences for an entire community.
The quality is just unbelievable that you've brought here in the last 10 years, and I can only imagine what the next 10 will bring.
Yeah, well, we're really excited. You know, last year, because of the patrons, we were able to bring the Vienna Boys Choir, and we gave all those tickets away as a gift back to the community. We have a similar situation coming up that I cannot at this point
divulge
the name of who it's going to be, but it is equally well known, and it is going to be another gift to the community. So that in itself is so rare that we have people willing to invest like that, to give back to where they live. And you know, for you to see some of these acts for $10 is unheard of.
Absolutely,
So,
absolutely.
But most everything is $15 to $10, and you know, you can't touch it anywhere around us. So.
Well, before we start talking about the upcoming events for September and October, tell me a little bit about behind the scenes. When some of these actors and performances come to town, you have to feed them, you have to find hotel rooms for them, and you would think that a huge staff coordinates that, but that's really not the case, is it?
No, well, not here.
It's you and your staff.
That's
and
right,
Kathy,
and
your
Kathy,
wife.
exactly. There are 6 of us on staff here. And so we all are trained to do everything. I may today clean the bathrooms, and tomorrow the windows, and the next day cook. You know?
That's when I said, "You want to come to my house and do it?" And the answer was immediately no.
Well, it's we really have fun here.
But you do what you have to do because
to make it happen.
Well, and it is the pearl of the community.
Well, and you know, Lana, the exciting thing for us is we are dealing with the top of the top in the performance world. And so it is very important to me that when those people walk in this door, they get a flavor of what Newnan is about and Coweta County. And so I take that personally.
Oh, I'm sure
so
you do.
Our outreach of hospitality is it's very interesting because that's around the nation. People will say, I want to go to Newnan, Georgia, because our people treat them so nicely when they come. Our staff is exceptional in treating them. But you know, we have professional contracts that we sign with all these acts.
Oh, I'm sure, and they're pretty stiff contracts too, aren't they?
Some of them have a great deal of demand. You know, with all of the food allergies and things, you never stop to think about, with 8 people, you can have 6 different meals that have to be prepared. Wow. So, yeah, we do it.
But you're also bringing economic value to the community by bringing these acts and performances into the community.
Exactly. So it's, hopefully it is a win-win for everybody.
Absolutely it is. Well, when we come back, I want you to tell us about the events that are coming up in September and October.
Great.
As you can see, this is an awesome place that if you've not been here, you have to come and just experience just a little bit, and then you will come back a lot more. So stay with us. When we come back, Dawn's going to tell us about the upcoming events in the fall.
It's the first day of the week and the last chance for football. Touchdown! It's the one game we'll all be watching. Monday Night Football, all season long on ESPN. It all comes down to Monday night. ESPN, serving sports fans around the world.
Watch ESPN in HD on Newnan, channel 814.
Welcome back to The Link. I'm at the Center for Performing and Visual Arts on Lower Fayetteville Road with the Executive Director, Don Nixon. Don is now going to tell us a little bit about the upcoming events for September and October. Don, where we are standing in the gallery here is just a small example of what is coming and what our community can come in and view.
Exactly. Well, Lana, one of the things that people really need to come during September and experience is there are 63 works here that are hung within this gallery, but in the outer wings as well. And these are masters of the 20th century. Every name you've ever heard of. As I'm looking across the walls right now, there's a Chagall, there is a Calder, there is a Seagal, there is a Cy Twombly, there's an Andy Warhol.
Behind you, there's a Picasso.
Yeah, there's a Picasso right behind us. So it's names that everybody has heard. These are all works on paper. And part of the reason for the exhibit, of course, is to expose our school students to the fact that they have an up-close and personal experience with artists they've just seen in books before. And
maybe never have the experience ever in their life to see some of these.
Right, and it is very rare for a collection this size with this many names to be in one space. So It is free. So all you have to do is
just
come in. We're here 9 to 5
Right.
at least every
Right.
day. Then, of course, if we're doing a night show, the galleries and lobbies are open. So that's the beauty of this, is it is offered freely to you. So
let's talk about the next photography event that's coming up.
Simple Pleasures is part of the larger exhibit, Celebrate Photography. Atlanta Celebrates Photography is the larger program, and Simple Pleasures is a division of that, and it will be here in the center. There's a competition that is involved with that, with local photographers.
See, that is amazing, because that builds that connection with the community.
Absolutely.
And we have some phenomenal artists here in the community from a photography standpoint.
And then them being able to participate on a broader scope. Carrol Cook-Smith is coordinating that and has just done a fabulous job.
Good.
There's a student component as well for competition. She's teaching a master class in photography. There is a major photographer from Atlanta that is coming and doing a workshop for students. That's one of the beauties of this facility, is the fact that when major people are here visiting us, doing a performance, they often teach master classes for our students.
That the students would never have an opportunity to have that.
Well, it is truly a rarity. There are students across the United States that have not had the opportunities our kids have.
That's
so,
amazing.
In fact, I've just been on the phone with the trumpet player for one of the major NBC shows that is getting ready to come and teach a master class for all the instrumental kids of our county. But along with the photography show in October, Broadway Boys.
I can't wait to see that. That is going to be really neat.
Those are 5 young men that all have had major roles on Broadway. And so they sing several things together, but then you also get to hear them sing what was the hit of the show. So they steal away that incredible moment that many of us missed on Broadway with them, but they're bringing it to us. So it's
how enjoyable is that going to
be? It's just, and their personalities are fabulous, and they want to be a part of wherever they are. So it's a good experience for us.
I know that one of the other activities that's coming up is the Morehouse Glee Club.
Yes.
And I have heard them, and they are phenomenal.
They really, really are. We have tried for several years to get them, and their schedules, because they travel so much with major concerts. And so Dr. Mora said, this is the year we're going to make this happen. And sure enough, we have been on the phone a lot, and it's
the stars aligned, and now
the stars aligned, so we're grateful. Also during October, ABBA, the group that everybody loves all that music because of the movies and the play and everything. There is a review group that is doing a national tour, and so that should be
that'll be fun.
That'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So that's coming up, and let me look real quickly. The other thing that's important for our community to know is, with Kia's presence here, more and more our Korean community is growing.
Absolutely.
And so we're doing a Korean cultural exchange.
That's very nice.
At the end of the month of October, and they will share with us those colorful dances, those beautiful fans, and then there's also going to even be samplings of food.
And that will also bring the folks from LaGrange and West Point and all the areas where a lot of the Kia people live and work to our community that may never have had an opportunity to come here, but it will be of interest to them.
Exactly. Well, that's what we're hoping, and we have a lot of those people in our own community.
I know
and
we do.
It's very important that we cross those barriers and get to know each other so that we can all live together.
It will be very informative for everyone, and so that will be a nice treat. Well, thank you for joining us. We could go on for hours and hours.
That's right, we could.
When you come back next, you're going to start to tell us in the next episode of The Link, we're going to have you on regularly now, telling everyone about what's coming up so that our community will know more about it.
Thank you, Lana, so much.
I want to encourage all of you to go to the website for the Center for Performing and Visual Arts. It's thecenteronline.net, and that's center, C-E-N-T-R-E, online.net. check it out and see which exhibits and which performances you and your family would like to come see. I think it's going to surprise you, but also remember, give from your heart. Only through the patrons' dollars is the center actually able to stay and do these wonderful things that they do for us in the community. So coming up in the future, Donna's going to continue to tell us all the exciting things that are going on here in the center. So you stay with us, and once again, we thank Don for joining us today.
Would you throw all this trash into your home? Well, of course not. Newnan is your home too. Throw the trash in the can and keep Newnan beautiful.
Welcome back to The Link. We're delighted to have on the set with us today Carrol Duffey from Keep Newnan Beautiful and Cindy Leopard, Newnan Coweta Humane Society. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having us.
We're glad that y'all are here today to talk about Walk and Wag at the Asa Powell Expo Center on October 5th. What's Walk and Wag?
It is people walking and doggies wagging.
All right, all right. So the idea is that owners bring their dogs and walk?
Owners can bring their pets, or we will have pets for rent, or you can borrow from the Newnan Coweta Humane Society. It's a 1 mile walk, and there will be water stations across the path, and it'll bring you back to the Powell Center, where we will have education, we will have vendors, we'll have fun for the kids, we'll have food. It's a pretty lengthy event that'll be fun for all, whether you have a pet or not.
Okay. At the end of the day, Carrol, it's a fundraiser.
It is a fundraiser. The proceeds will go to the Newnan Coweta Humane Society, which will be used for?
It'll be used for the foster care program to offset the costs of pets that come to us sick or injured that need treatment, that need to be treated prior to being adopted.
Okay, all right. Mm-hmm. Keep Newnan Beautiful, engaging with Newnan Coweta Humane Society. You've done this before.
We have done this before, and we're excited to do it again, and it's enabled us to expand our event a bit, and we'll have, in addition to the walk, which is a piece of it, an important piece of it, we will have, as Cindy said, vendors. We will also have a canine team from Coweta County will be there. We will have veterinarians on site that will be offering microchipping and rabies vaccinations. We will have.
Wait a minute, what's microchipping?
Oh, do you not have your?
Help me understand
microchipping.
microchipping.
Microchipping is where they implant a little chip surgically, but it doesn't take any anesthesia.
It's just a shot.
Yeah, into the pet, so that if your cat or dog is lost, can't find it, and turns up somewhere else, it can be scanned.
Okay.
And the microchip will come up and be read, and it will point back to you. So there's no disowning your pet if you decide you.
And no losing.
However, it is not
amazing.
a GPS system, so
Okay.
you can't track your pet.
Okay.
But if your pet is turned into animal control or is found by a Good Samaritan, then they can have it scanned and returned to you quickly.
Okay, so keeping up with my pet has become high tech.
Yes, it has.
It has.
That's great.
It
So
is
we're
great.
offering that right here in
Right.
Newnan and Coweta County.
Yes,
Yes.
we are.
That's amazing.
And
That's
the
amazing.
registration will be included with the cost of the microchip.
Okay, so what is the cost of registration? How do people register? What do they need to do to get involved?
To register for the walk, they need to go to keepnewnanbeautiful.org.
Okay.
And then there's a registration form on there for the walkers. And you would get a free t-shirt with the walk as long as you register by a couple days before the
I think
event.
it's the up until 5 o'clock, October 4th. It's $15 for advance registration and $20 for day of.
Okay.
So, which we feel is pretty reasonable. And for those who are not going to participate in the walk but want to come for the activities, there will be, is it $1?
$1 donation at the gate.
Great.
And then for the other costs, we'll have rabies, and then we'll also have distemper parvo vaccine for dogs and feline distemper vaccine for cats, and those will be $10 each. Okay. And then the microchip is $25, but that does include the registration.
Great, great. Cindy, if someone wants to come and walk and they don't have a dog, you're going to provide maybe a great dog like Raider.
Yes, Raider is a former Newnan Coweta Humane Society baby that he just captured my heart and I couldn't let him go, but he has participated in all of the walk and wags so far, so he can't miss this one.
There you go.
He only has 3 legs, and that's due to a car accident, and his owner couldn't be found, and that's why he ended up with us. So had they microchipped him, they could have gotten him back.
There's a great story. A great way to end this segment. Carrol Duffey, Keep Newnan Beautiful, Cindy Leopard, Newnan Coweta Humane Society, thanks for developing Walk and Wag.
Thank you.
Hope lots of people will participate. We know they will for the 4th annual event. You stay tuned. The link will be right back.
Would you throw all this trash into your home? Well, of course not. Newnan is your home too. Throw the trash in the can and keep Newnan beautiful.
It's another DIY Network 10 grand in your hand. Quick tip.
If you're remodeling and you want to expose some brick, hold the chisel tight to the wall and always work on an angle. Come back with a stiff wire brush, then clean the brick by spraying a 50-50 mix of muriatic acid and water. You can leave the brick au natural or add a urethane sealant.
For more great tips and programming, tune in to the DIY Network, New Link Channel 106.
Now it's time for our Pet of the Week, a segment that everybody at the link really enjoys. This week we have a brown puppy named Ginger Snap. Let's take a look.
Hi there, I'm Wendy and this is Ann, and we're both volunteers with NCHS, and this is our Pet of the Week, Ginger Snap. She's a 1-year-old pit bull female, heartworm negative. She's a gorgeous girl. I would so hope that someone would give her a chance. She is a beautiful, beautiful, friendly girl. So come on down to Animal Control and give Ginger a loving new home. Thank you.
Thanks for being with us today on the link. Mark, we've had a great show.
We did. Cindy Leopard, Newnan Coweta Humane Society, Carrol Duffey, Keep Newnan Beautiful, Walk and Wag. What a great event that's going to be on October 5th.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Oh, wow.
It's great to have them on set today.
Well, and you know, Don Nixon shared so many things about the Performing Arts Center that I really didn't know, and I've been here the entire time. For 10 years that facility has been open now. So it's just amazing what we have in the community that a lot of people don't know about. So I hope that a lot more of our folks take advantage of all the different types of events and performances there.
You know, Don's brought performers and performances from around the world here.
Absolutely.
This is something that people anywhere in the country admire. It's a shame that not everybody in our community even knows about it. We've got to have more information about that to the community.
And you know what? We are going to start having monthly updates from Don on the link so that we can, share with all of you all the neat things that are coming up. So
yeah, that'll be cool. The groundbreaking at University of West Georgia is going to come up next week.
Yes, it is.
It occurred this week.
Yes, it has occurred this week, and we're going to have the coverage on that next week. Lots of things going on. So, as usual, you don't want to miss anything on the link. We hope we keep you informed of what's going on in the community. Thanks for joining us, and we'll be with you next week again. Bye.